All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming in. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. It's our every other Monday shenanigans, and glad you guys are here. Cranky, how you doing, buddy?
I'm having a week. Having a week.
You too, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I had, one of my favorite things to do is plumbing, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
Oh, those are always fun.
I got a call in to have somebody come out, and I couldn't snake all the way far enough in to get a bathroom drain cleaned. I don't. It's just like popped up out of nowhere. It's all clogged up. So I couldn't get that one, but I did get the hot water fixed in the bathtub faucet. So I'm 1 for 2.
Hey, there you go.
And 500 in baseball is good. But anyway.
So how are your Cardinals doing this year so far?
I'm not even paying attention. I haven't got time. I'm guessing not so well since you're asking.
Well, I was actually genuinely asking because only reason I'm able to keep up with the Tigers this year is because they're all over the radio and TV because they're coming out all both barrels blazing. Just hopefully they keep it up and do what they got to do at the end of the season. Unlike our Detroit Red Wings who played their butts off and then tanked at the end of the season and missed the playoffs again.
Yeah.
For the 10th year in a row. And our Detroit Pistons last night, first round of their playoffs, they're the number one seed in the NBA, and they got smoked by Orlando last night. And it's like, oh, come on, guys. Somebody's got to break the stigma of Detroit sports teams.
Well, yeah, but they're always right up there,
Yeah. Yeah, so. You figure a couple of years ago, the Pistons only won 14 games the whole season. So,
hey, before we go any further, while Jack Stacks is here, Jack Stacks, if you look around here, your little pile of goodies is no longer here. It's boxed up. And this, I've got the customs form. It's going to go out tomorrow. I will send you a what do you call it? Tracking number. And finally, you're going to get your goods from the Midwest of the United States. And I've been horrible about getting it out. I can't keep up. And he's a good guy for being as patient as he has. He goes, ooh. There's
one of these days I got to get to the post office too. I mean, I've got stuff that I intended to send out at the first of the year and never got a chance to. So,
well, and Mike joined us. Hi, Mike. Mustard and Biscuits is in. Hiya. And that don't forget that Labradorite pendant I put it in a box. And for Mrs. Jack Stacks, and marked it Mrs. J Stacks. So, and I even polished her up a little real good before I boxed it up. So, but yeah, that's I'm finally starting to get caught up on things as far as my UK things. I feel indebted to a lot of people over there, and I just have not been able to get stuff rounded up and ready to go. So
right,
but yeah, it's that part of stuff is going. I did get some mail today from Rural Stacker.
And let me make you big here.
I'm gonna do a video tomorrow on it, Michi. I haven't opened it yet. I got a video I want to do tomorrow anyway, so I'll do a mail call on that. But I feel I'm an amazing Karnak here. I feel something round in there's got to be a chip. I'm looking forward to that. Rural bought. I don't know if you saw my post this weekend, but I did worked out pretty good actually. Didn't get as many bids as I thought I would. Sorcerer Stan and Mike and rural stacker bid on a couple of bars that I had that
Yeah.
I wanted to find good homes for. I knew I wasn't going to keep them when I got them,
Right.
but they needed to be in some good homes, and so they're boxed up and in the postal system. But it worked out pretty good. I just I put basically just put a starting bid of what I paid.
Right.
And let it run for 8 hours. And then at the end of 8 hours, I went back and, put in the comments, biddings closed. And that was, everybody could see what the bids were and all that sort of thing. I may do that sort of thing again.
There you go.
I kind of caught some people, by surprise. And maybe I should do, maybe I'll do something with a little more notice. But I did put out a short on it, and I did put it in a video. So
I was watching.
That's it worked out pretty good. I thought it worked out pretty good. Right here in front of me here too, Michi, before we go too far. This is the only thing that I've picked up. Look at this. This is a Golden State Mint.
Oh, that is cool.
It's a half ounce. It says for someone special, $9.99 fine silver. Got my pointer. GSM, half troy ounce, and it's look how thick that is.
Oh yeah.
So I picked this up, and I'm gonna as soon as I get some materials, I'm gonna cast a few of these, and sell them as pins. They can have. I got me some engraving tools, so I'm gonna try starting that, and I may. The bee called me from Denver a couple of days ago and said, "Hey, I'm going to be doing a show. He's going to do a show, and I'm not going to go too far into details or anything like that, but I may he invited me to come and do the show with him. He's going to tentatively, well, I'm not going to share any more than that, but it is intercontinental influence. So,
oh, well, cool.
Yeah, it could be pretty cool. The other things I had here last time we had, well, look at this. Is this cool? This is a 1 gram buffalo. Would you look at that? I ain't never seen that. That's a 1 gram buffalo.
Yeah.
That little sucker is so cute. Look at that.
Now, see, I've never seen them where they actually have the buffalo on the back. I had a couple at one point. They had the buffalo, and you flipped it over, and it had like the whatever you want to call it, the atomic.
Oh yeah,
or whatever on the other side. And I had one that had the Indian head on the front, and then had the I think it was the logo for the mint on the back. So that's pretty cool.
It's cool as heck, and I'm not sure who the mint is. Oh, it's Monarch Metals. There's a little crown on there.
Okay.
But I bought a bag. I got a smoking deal on 41 Volcambi gram bars. As I said, look, I'm just going to melt this. I got an order for a cross necklace, and I need some silver. And so he told me that. And that 1 gram, it was 40 little gram bars and 1 gram buffalo, which I thought was cool as heck. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. So this, what I started on originally there was this. This is what we drew for last time, right?
Right.
The baby Brett. Both of the winners, FG and SGT, were deferring to each other, and then FG said, "Well, if SGT doesn't want it, draw for it. Just keep it and do it in another drawing." But I haven't talked to SGT, so if he pops in here and I miss him, let's talk to him and see if he wants to do that or not. Otherwise, we'll draw for this 1 gram Volcambi here today. So, yeah, and that's about all the news from Tinseltown. Miss Grace, Colby's girlfriend,
Yes.
competed in her first IFBB qualifier this weekend it's called Wasatch Warrior.
Yeah.
And man, I got to tell you, you can't really see that very there. There it comes in. That's the group she competed with. This is our little Grace right down here. And then I've got one picture of her. That's Miss Grace. She got 3 gold medals, won 3 classes, and got second in a 4th.
Nice.
So that qualifies her for international. They had people from Japan and Canada and Mexico and all kinds of things. So it was a pretty big deal. So congratulations to Miss Grace.
Yes,
Thornton.
absolutely. Outstanding job.
Yeah, she killed it. She absolutely killed it. It was very, very cool. So that's all I got. I'm done. You guys in a couple of weeks. No.
Right.
But we were talking earlier about the tornadoes being different than they used to be. You guys are getting
God.
You guys are getting a lot more than we are, and that's just weird.
That's the backwards. Normally you guys are getting all that craziness, and I want to shout out our first responders, especially in the Metro Detroit area, because they had 8 tornadoes touch down last week in Michigan, 2 of them in Metro Detroit. One actually touched down in Ann Arbor and did quite a bit of damage to Yost Arena, which is where the University of Michigan hockey team plays. Ripped a good hunk of the roof off of there. That anybody that's familiar with Michigan or Southeast Michigan, that tornado stayed on the ground and followed a path along US 12, which we all know is Michigan Avenue, and came to within about a mile of the hospital I work at. And our crew was working that night, and I do have a couple of people that work in the hospital I work at that follow me. I don't know if they're on here because sometimes they just put it on and listen when they're at work. But I want to shout out our staff at the hospital for being on their JOB and doing what needed to be done, and calmly, professionally protected our patients and our visitors. And they had our entire emergency department evacuated in less than 30 seconds. And we were pretty busy that night. I had one individual that I mentioned to Cranky that apparently doesn't have anything between his ears but air, but we took care of that. But everything went off without a hitch. Fortunately, that tornado didn't reach us. They originally said they clocked winds at Detroit Metro Airport, which is about 3 miles away from the hospital, at 78 miles an hour, and then came back later and said more like 80 plus. Now I was telling Cranky, one of our plant operations guys almost turned into Dorothy and Toto trying to close the door to the outside. But shout out to our staff at the hospital, all the first responders in the area, because there was another city here that borders Detroit that got hit very hard. And just, everybody did what had to be done. We didn't lose anybody to it. And there's a lot of damage, a lot of property damage, but you know what? You can replace all that. Can't replace human life.
You can, and that's a big plus as far as that goes. Nobody really being seriously injured or lost, but boy, that property damage is devastating. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's total devastation when those
Yeah.
things roll through.
They had a strip mall there in Lincoln Park where the other one hit, where the pretty much the side wall of the Subway sub shop got knocked off all over the parking lot, and it was the winds and weather were strong enough, it ripped an air handling unit off the roof. Ooh. And left it in the middle of the street, and was bad enough that there was a set of traffic lights at a major intersection where not only were they out, but they were broken in half, still hanging from the lines, but broken in half. So it was it was ugly. But like I said, thank God, everybody survived it. Everybody's around to talk about it, complain about it, whatever. But yeah, our first responders, our hospital people, everybody did a great job. When it happened for real. So shout out to them. And
excellent.
Yeah. And we've things been kind of chaotic in Metro Detroit. It's starting to make the national news, and not in a good way. The things that happen when you make it illegal to discipline your kids. They've groups, mass mobs of teenagers going into downtown Detroit and storming businesses and jumping people on the street, beating them up and robbing them, and pulling fire alarms in restaurants and shops, and just causing total chaos. And yes, I am very critical of the police chief in Detroit. He's useless. He should not be in that position. When you hear command officers come over the radio and advise officers to observe, do not engage, while these kids tear up downtown Detroit. And also, just we got to do better all over the world with the way we treat each other. Because I'm very proud of where I live, where I grew up, but there's people that are trying to destroy it in every way, shape, or form. So,
Yep.
And I saw a video the other day of law enforcement over in the UK telling a woman she couldn't walk down the street with her dog because that dog might offend certain people. And then when she tried to turn around and walk back home, they wouldn't let her walk back home because there was a group of that particular group of people in that direction. And then when she tried to walk home anyway, they arrested her and sent her dog to the pound. And it's like, yeah, okay. And the reason they arrested her was because she kept demanding, I'm a citizen. And they didn't care. And then, just some of the things that are going on, over here too.
Yeah, what a mess.
We all got to do better.
Yep.
There's a difference. There's a difference between being tolerant and, just standing back and letting people do what they want.
Yeah.
And
100% agreed.
Yeah. And it's getting bad.
Jack Stack says it's hell over here now, and I really feel for them. I pay attention to what's going on in the UK a lot, and I think we've all seen it coming for a year, and I mean,
they even had a story, and I know this has gotten a lot of attention over there, and don't get me wrong, someday I hope to visit the places that my ancestors came from. But you can't come here unless you submit to digital ID. I'm an American citizen. I'm not submitting to anything. And if that means that I can't travel there, I hate it, but I'll deal with it. And then on the flip side of it, I'm not sure where in the UK it happened, but you had actually people keep referring to him as Indian. He's not Indian. He's Sikh.
Yeah, I know that guy.
He has a restaurant that he runs, he's had for years, and he refuses to sell anything labeled as halal. He says, that's not my business. That's not my. Well, this crowd shows up and protests and they start beating on the windows and breaking stuff. Well, he calls for law enforcement. Law enforcement shows up. They don't arrest the crowd. They arrest him. For what?
Yeah,
what is his crime?
It's a crazy situation.
And then, over across the border over here in Canada now, if you preach the word of God, you will be arrested and put in jail for hate crimes.
Yeah.
Because,
guess where the big invasion's going to come from next?
Oh, I know.
It ain't going to be our southern border.
No. It amazes me that, and even going back to a group protesting that we should have, we're not citizens, but we should have the same rights as everybody else, and a guy standing there in front of Parliament playing the Canadian national anthem on a loudspeaker, and the police came over, shut him down, and threatened to arrest him for disorderly conduct. And he goes, why would you arrest me for disorderly conduct for playing the Canadian national anthem in Canada? Well, because you're offending them and they don't want to hear it. Okay, tough crap. The airport's that way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't mean that the way it sounds, because a lot of people take the, if you don't like it, leave, as a racial thing or an ethnic thing. And it's not, because I have friends of every race and every nationality that's on the planet. And none of them act the way some people are acting now.
Well, there's an agenda for sure. Yeah. And it's a globalist thing. And it's just the way it has been. We're always watching things on world wars and things like that, and there's always been an agenda by the rich.
Well, and I mean, I'm not, and I don't mean this as an age poke at anybody. I'm not exactly the oldest of the people here.
No, clearly I am.
But I'm old enough to remember certain things where you get these, and I've had this discussion with some of the babies that I work with, and these are the ones where you walk up and you say, "Wow, wow, is that Similac I smell?" Because they're literally that much younger than us. But I remember the hostage situation over in Iran, and when they wouldn't let them go until Reagan got in office and basically said, "Look, we're not taking your crap, give us our people back," and they did. But there has been a constant threat from that particular country ever since.
Yep.
And this is that, I don't see because this has been going on since the late
47 years. 47 years.
Yeah.
And I remember.
And
I remember when it happened. And
when you're, and pardon the expression, but when you're a kid and you see things on the news that scare the living shit out of you.
Yeah. That was my generation's 9/11 thing. Event. It was shocking to us as Americans, and enlistment. I mean, they had just gotten rid of, the draft. And enlistments went up.
Well, and I'm going back to, and sitting there, sitting there explaining to these youngsters, no, they actually took American hostages and threatened to kill them if we didn't bow to them, and we didn't bow to them. We got a new president. New president's like, we're not having it. And then I said, let's talk about the Marine barracks in Beirut. They're saying now that was Iran that did that, not who they originally thought did it. But we're just supposed to sit there and let it happen. We're supposed to let them, create that little red button. They can say, okay, we're pissed at the U.S. today, hit the red button, and all of a sudden the last thing you see is a mushroom cloud. It just, no.
Yeah.
But this whole world needs to do better. There's a difference between tolerance and submission, and too many places are submitting, and it's just no. So, but
Yeah,
so
Jack says he moved to the Norfolk coast. Now
yeah,
that's just below the Midlands, and isn't that considered the south part, southern
I think we're
southern
getting raided.
England?
We're getting raided.
We
Look
are.
at all those crabs.
Holy smokes! Look at the crabs.
Holy cow! Hey, everybody.
Crab raid, awesome. Yeah, crab raid, and look at all the crabs up there, and me
That's
without my
yeah.
crab traps right now. Dad
I was
burn it.
gonna say, yeah, I gotta, you know, making me want to make a run to Alaska to get some good stuff.
Dad burn it. Al, welcome everybody in. Hi,
Yeah.
hi. There's so many. Oh my gosh, look at all that.
We've just been sitting here talking about current events.
They're coming in here from hanging out with some guy on the internet with crabs, and that's a wonderful thing.
So is that so? We've got the cranky one. We got the crabby one too.
Well, in a manner of speaking, I suppose that's right. Yeah, and we could get into my story about crabs. But it ain't seafood. Well, we'll save that for another day.
You know what? I have to say this because everybody's coming in.
Look at that.
International Stacker, you are a rock star. Thank you for sending everybody over. I know you did the same thing for for one of our other live streams, and you guys also popped in on Thule and MSJ's. Was that last week or 2 weeks ago? So you guys are all awesome. Thanks for coming in.
Speed 59 says I had crabs on the brain. Well, mine weren't on the brain, but anyway, yeah. Stick around, come around a little bit more often. I'll tell that story one of these days. It's pretty funny. But
I learned, I do have to say this, getting a little bit onto the whole metals topic here for a second. And Cranky, I sent you a picture earlier because I was kind of half awake, half asleep when I was looking at that. And I took a picture. I'm like, I'm going to send this to somebody else and see if they're seeing what I'm seeing. I happen to be in one of our LCSs that I don't really go to anymore. And I'm looking just to, window shopping, looking to see what they got. And they got all these tubes of some of my favorite stuff, our 90% constitutional silver. And, he's got right on the tags that are stuck on there telling you what's in the tubes, melt. So he's selling them at melt, whatever melt is that particular day. So he doesn't have to keep going through repricing them every other day. And I'm looking at these tubes of dimes, and my favorites are the mercury dimes all day, every day. But, and I'm being sarcastic when I say this, I learned today that there are Franklin dimes.
Did you show you want me to show the picture?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Okay, yeah.
I'm working off my phone, so I can't get to it.
Shotgun Susie said 420 crab rated, which kind of reminds me that I think International got rated from Farmers, Gold Snapping Farmers 420 celebration. I popped in for maybe the last half hour of that. I didn't win anything, of course, but I tried. No, he was giving away a bunch of stuff today, and I just caught the last half hour of it, and then I heard him say they were gonna pop over and raid International. So now we got a 420 guys with crabs coming in here, and ladies. This is cool. I like it. See what happens when you mess around with that stuff? You get crabs. There he is, Gold Sniper Farmer. I knew I could get him up here.
Happy 420, man.
You messed with the You mess with the crab, you get the
see,
claws.
I actually, and I thought about that for a minute too. I said, man, did I like inhale something I wasn't supposed to? Looking at that thing, and I just on the slide kind of took that picture real quick. But he's got all these the plastic tubes with dimes and quarters and stuff, and all the ones, and I know darn good and well that they're Roosevelt dimes.
Yeah.
But all of them said Franklin dimes. I'm like, wow, Franklin dimes. Okay. And just on the slide real quick, I took that picture and sent it to you. I'm like, and this is why I don't shop here anymore.
here's the picture Michi's talking about.
Yeah.
And on those labels, it says, let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. You can't really read it. Anyway, there's a lot of tubes of dimes here, and it says silver, mercury dime. One of them says Franklin. One of them says Mercury. Most of them say Franklin, but all the tubes say melt on them. So
mustard, I don't know. I think maybe they were celebrating 420 early before they put those labels on.
We if he's selling them at melt, we should all pool together and buy everything the fellas got, and see what we can do. Yeah, there's Roosevelt. Yeah, Franklin.
Right.
Roosevelt's and Mercury's.
Like I said, I was just window shopping today because it actually looks like somebody came in there and bought up a lot of his stuff. Because last time I was in there, I was half expecting his display case to collapse.
Hey, Steve Holmgren here is saying Stephen Holmgren is talking about saying yes, buy dimes. I don't know. Does that store Michi do? Does that store do internet orders, or is that something?
You know what? I know he's always shipping stuff out. I don't know if he does eBay or whatnot or what he does. I'll have to ask him. I'm usually driving by there a couple times a week, so I'll have to pop in and ask him.
Because it might be worth doing a post or even I mean if it'd be nice to be able to
see that
get a bunch of those bought.
That's the guy that I was getting my Peace dollars and Morgan dollars from for $28 a piece.
Nice.
Yeah, because he had so many of them, he just wanted to get rid of them, and his opinion was, well, it's just 90% silver. Well, that's just, yeah, but they're Morgans and Peace. Yeah, but it's still 90% silver.
Yeah. Hi, Lady Bluegrass. Good to see you. Good to see you.
I'll definitely have to pop back in there and see what I'll find out what platform he's using for selling stuff. Because like I said, when I was in there today, he had a whole stack of packages that were waiting for the mailman to come pick them up. So, those ones that may or may not get there. Yeah.
No, I don't. Here we go. He's got me started on the United States Postal Service.
Well, I can't complain too much this week, other than I bought something from we all know him on here as Phoenix Coins, and if you're on Whatnot, he's 007 Coins on Whatnot. He's been doing a lot of I got to clear off the desk so everything's up for sale, and I actually bought not metals or anything, but he does a lot of 3D printing, and he had he 3D printed a couple of I'm going to mess this up because I can never keep I think the Avengers Groot looks like the little sawed-off tree from one of the superhero movies, Marvel movies or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's cute. Okay. So I bought it from him. Well, it sat in Detroit for 4 days. It took 4 days to get from Detroit 25 minutes down the freeway to me.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a quick shout out to him too. He's sent me his new magnet. because I think he's getting ready to start doing videos on YouTube again. He hasn't been on YouTube in a while. He'll pop in the live streams and in the comments and stuff.
Yeah, make that big if you want to show that sticker
there.
A little better. Yeah.
Oh, he's picking up the pace here. He's got some pretty snazzy magnets there.
That's nice.
That's his new magnet, and then kind of his new logo for his whatnot page. There's his whatnot logo because he is a huge James Bond fan. So hence the 007 coins. So if you're on whatnot, definitely check him out. I'm not encouraging or discouraging whatnot. Just if you do go on there, be careful. Be aware of what you're doing, and max bid is your friend. Set your max bid and leave it at that. No, actually, Phoenix is he lives in Florida. Whenever it snows down there around Pensacola, I get pictures sent to me going, "Hey man, your trash is in my front yard. Come get it."
There you go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as far as you picked up a couple of pieces. I haven't really picked up a whole heck of a lot. Where'd it go? Just had the darn thing in my hand. Only thing I really got was actually a freebie, because if you pay attention, you can go on there and they'll send you a free one every time a new state comes out. But I got a free Idaho half Goldback.
That's nice. That's nice.
They're getting really good with their artwork now that they're redoing the old ones and doing new ones. I can only imagine what the Michigan ones are going to look like. When the time comes, if the time comes. But my favorite thing is because there's a lot of people that don't like Goldbacks, and you know what? They're an acquired taste. But in with that Goldback, they sent me one of these stickers, and I think I'm going to leave it up in my background because I collect them. I'm not trying to stack them. You're not going to get rich off them. It's stuck.
No.
But they're cool to look at. There's some really amazing designs. My favorite is still the Florida 5.
Florida 5, yeah.
The Florida 5 and I think the Arizona 5. I think it's Arizona that I grabbed. It's kind of cool looking. I don't know what I did with I got them in a dollar bill album so they don't get messed up. But yeah, you end up with Goldbacks. You don't like them, you send them to me. I'll put them in my collection.
There you go. Premiums are going up like
crazy
on those things. Yeah. Yes, they are. And that's why they're a collectible instead of a stacker.
There's only certain ones. Like, I'll get like one. If I really like the design, I'll buy one. But there's people that buy them 1,000 at a time, and the premiums are crazy on them. But yeah, like I said, they're cool to look at. I'm not. I in no way, shape, or form consider them a stackable.
Hey, Benson's. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Benson's coin or collectibles is from UK. I'm pretty sure, and he's asking if you can spend Goldbacks in the US. Do you know?
Yes, you can. There are certain. Actually, if you go on Goldback's website, it's got a map where you can click on a particular state. Like if you say you were to come over to the States and go to Florida. Florida has Goldbacks. There are a lot of businesses that will accept them in place of cash. And it literally tells you, because if they're going to accept Goldbacks, they register with Goldbacks so everybody knows it. Nice. And if I remember right, there's actually a couple of places here in Michigan that accept them, but I don't think I'll ever have enough to actually use them. So,
yeah. But here's the odd cents on that.
Well, and then they also have a scale on their website where you can put in, okay, I've got the X amount of Goldbacks. What does this convert to cash at? and it'll tell you how much you have. If you were to convert it to cash, what you would have. So you're not going into anything blind. But I do agree with Fish on the fact, because Fish he does not like Goldbacks at all. And I can understand where he's coming from, that it's fractional gold. I mean, fractional gold.
Yeah.
And it's backed by a private corporation. So,
you mean something like the Federal Reserve?
Yeah. So what happens in 10 years when Goldback goes belly up? What are they going to be worth then, if that were to happen?
Well, let's ask the guys at the Federal Reserve.
Don't even get me started.
they're working on that belly up position, aren't they?
Yeah, they're digging themselves a deeper hole.
Hey, I don't know if you saw it up there or not. OC Stacker said he's got a graded first generation Goldback set. A graded first generation Goldback. If you're interested,
those new, I'm good, because I know how much those are worth on the collector market. I'm not that rich.
I'll give you a 1/1000th of an ounce of gold for that.
You go on some of these forums, and those first generation Goldbacks.
Yeah, I have heard that
are a small fortune.
Yeah, I've heard that they were pretty collectible. It's even for Goldbacks that they're pretty collectible.
Yeah, and it's just the artwork's got, and not that the old artwork wasn't worth anything, because it's somebody took the time to design those, but it's just the artwork's gotten so much better, where you look at some of these pictures on these, and it looks like the people are just gonna look at you, say hi, and walk away. But the ones that really crack me up, you keep them entertained for a minute. I'm gonna find my album.
Oh crap! No pressure. No pressure here. I like Shotgun Susie's comment. Federal debt cartel. I like that. Yeah, Mustard and Biscuits. What are you saying there? Florida half Goldback horseback. Horse girl could get it. What? Missed me on that one. Anyways.
Oh, look at that. It was right under my nose.
Was it?
I couldn't find it. Well, see here. I'm going to make myself big here again real quick.
Man, you got to give me some lead time on them breaks like that. Shoot. I couldn't even remember the songs, the words to the song Margaritaville. And that's my go-to song.
They came out with these little quarter Goldbacks for Idaho. I mean, these things I've got belt buckles bigger than those. But the only reason I got those, and somehow I ended up with 4, I thought I only ordered 1, because it's got Lady Justice on it. Me and my background in my career in the past, Lady Justice was a big part of it. So
you said those are quarters?
Yeah.
Well,
they've got an Idaho quarter Goldback.
So then they're selling 4 quarters as one. Then would be my guess.
I like I said, I ordered 1 and ended up 1 quarter and ended up with 4. So, but let me see here. Yeah, these things are tiny. They're 1/4000th of a troy ounce. But
that's the size of piece of paper that you wad your gum up in and throw in the.
You know what? It's about the size of the foil wrapper on a
stick of Wrigley's.
Stick of double mint gum.
There you go. There you go.
They're cool to look at. They're in no way, shape, or form are they stackable as far as I'm concerned. But let me see here, and now we'll do this. Well, actually, you know what? My favorite, it's a tie, because this is the Arizona 5 with the Old West lady on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this was my first favorite, which I think was everybody's favorite at one point, which
looks
was
like
Florida.
Booty Girl.
Yeah.
Looks like Booty Girl stacking.
There you go.
There you go.
And Yeah. And then let's see. I think I want to say, is this?
She's hot. That is all Mustard says.
I've got, and the first generation drive is not graded, but I've got a South Dakota 1 and New Hampshire 1 that are first generation. And then here's another one I thought was pretty cool. And they did a very limited run of these. That's Washington D.C.
Yeah. Yep. I remember when those came out, and they were just extremely limited. I remember them saying it was going to be a limited run, didn't they?
Right.
Great. Yep. That's marketing there. Hey, West Texas Stacker, how you doing today? Good to see you. I liked your live stream. West Texas did a good live stream earlier, and it was.
He always does good live streams.
Yeah, he he's a good guy.
I get up on, what is it, Sunday mornings, and you know, sit there and debate what I'm going to do for breakfast, and then he starts cooking, and suddenly I'm hungry and I'm eating breakfast.
There you go. It's
enticement. He gets up there and starts cooking that bacon. Oh, I'm ready to go now.
Well, they're awful good folks in that family.
Yes, they are. Sure. Very good.
Love them to death.
If you guys are not subscribed to West Texas, you need to do that.
Yep, absolutely.
Two of the nicest people on YouTube.
Yep. And this is the best community, like Mike Silver and Gold Stack Attack says. This is the best.
Oh yeah,
best damn community on YouTube.
Oh yeah. You know, he was one of the first people I followed on YouTube.
Yeah.
When I started going, hey, this is kind of interesting. It was him, and actually he and Patriot Stacker were the first two that I started following when I got on here. And then kind of, I ended up following a couple of the bigger ones who will remain nameless.
Mm-hmm. Some of the sponsored videos.
Oh yeah. Where hey, if you're not doing it right unless you're buying all your silver from enter online big box dealer here, and here enter now into the giveaway to win a monster box of, and you never hear anybody winning it.
Yeah, I haven't actually heard that. Although I got started with a couple of the same guys. And I know who you're talking about, and I still listen to him. I went through a phase, and I think you and I have talked about this before. I went through a phase where I really didn't listen much to him. It kind of fell out of love with him for a while. But I got to tell you that as far as consistency, and this is just my opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion. I just happen to be right.
About the only time I go on the one, and I know this will give away the one I'm talking about. If it's not a visit to Harry's Coin Shop, I'm not watching. Yeah, I'll pop in on the live streams every once in a while just to say, hey, what's up? And, I believe Tim is back in the shop there in New Hampshire, so I'll probably go play catch up because for those of you that didn't know, Tim took a really nasty fall this winter and was banged up and out of commission for a little while. But, that guy, he's probably going to outlive all of us. He's back in the shop. So, but yeah, I love the visits to see Tim. I'm not real fond of the visits to the crazy guy. I can't remember his name right now. The one that talks with his hands way too much.
Well, I don't know about that.
Local Silver Mint.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And nothing against the guy. He's a military veteran who saw some nasty poop in his day. But yeah, he's a little out there.
Yeah. Well.
And, but not that I don't enjoy watching his videos every once in a while. Yeah, blue collar. Yeah, hey buddy.
Hey, blue collar.
I thought about the last 30 seconds of that live stream last night. I saw the thing on YouTube said the blue collar was the guest, and I popped in there like, All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks everybody for stopping in. See you next time. Bye. Well, damn, that was quick.
Yeah, I hate coming in on the end of stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
he was on with the Metal Mob last night, and I normally try to avoid one member of that group as much as I can.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's just there's certain things. I'm 52 years old, and there's certain things I'm turning into that grumpy old man that I hated when I was younger.
Can't stomach.
And
that's okay.
And I know blue collar's probably tired of hearing about it. When you there's Grandma Cranky.
Grandma Cranky. Damn it, Grandma.
Just to throw it out there. Blue Collar hit a milestone on his channel, and he did they do their Saturday morning chill live stream, he in Vegas, and in addition to their Monday night medals that they do every Monday night. As a matter of fact, they'll be on later, so check them out. And I was on as one of their guests on the live, and throughout the live stream, Blue Collar's doing the wheel, and he had put a thing out there for hey, put this icon in the comments and you'll be entered for one of these 3 bigger prizes that I'm giving away for my milestone. And got down to it came down to Vegas, me, and somebody else. And this individual started blowing up the comments. Hey, that's not fair. That's this, that you shouldn't do that, and blah, blah, blah. And I know I should get over it, but it's like, dude, it's not your live stream, man. You didn't want to be a part of this because you're not in control of it. Just stop. And it just just kept going and going and going and going and going. And it's like, I'm done with this guy. He's got his thing that he's in control now, and he's I guess better because he's got control of something. But I'm just and nothing against the other guys that are on that live.
Yeah,
but the one in particular, and who I'm talking about, because there's other people that are not real fond of him either. But is what it is. But hey, when you see one of the cool kids is a guest, you pop in and see what's going on. But like I said, I only was there for about the last 30 seconds of it, in between shenanigans last night at work. So
shenanigans, that's a good term for him.
Well,
that's a good term for him.
When you have people that have nothing else better to do, but hey, let's go start some chaos. Let's go to the hospital emergency room. And wait a minute, why are they telling me I can't stay here?
Well, Michi Mish.
Yes.
I'm being summoned by Marty the Wonder Dog. He's
by the way, how's Marty doing? I know you said in your video that Marty's still eating like a horse, and
come here, Marty. Come here. Hey, come here, baby. She come on, babe. Come here.
Oh, Dad, you're gonna put me on TV again.
She's kind of having. Look at me walking around the shop here. This is what the jewelry making shop kind of looks like. In case you guys are see all that, it's just a mess. Here's Marty the Wonder Dog.
Oh,
hi, baby.
Well, that's a good sign. That tail's wagging.
Yeah, she's eating like crazy, but that it's a pretty aggressive cancer. She's still trying to put some weight on, but she's been going with me in the truck, taking rides, and she's a
tough kid.
Yep, that's my girl.
Yeah,
but we got to get over there and get her some feed and
go
call Grandma Cranky. And I think we'll just go ahead and do this this drawing on. Look at this. That's without
What you doing, Dad?
It's her favorite spot. Where are we going? Don't leave. Anyways,
You said rides, Dad.
that's my girl. All right. So we'll do this for this drawing is going to be for a 1/10 baby Brit. This is a 2000. Yeah, I know. I got my fingers on it. Everybody shut up. If it's free, we got a sign that hangs around here that in one word says "Quit your bitching." Yeah, it's a 1/10 $9.99 fine. I don't see 2020 anyway. Blah blah blah. It's free. Doesn't matter what year it is. And a 1 gram Balcambi silver snap apart. So, yeah, we'll do that. And I just I have been very preoccupied with what's going on with Miss Marty, and as well, and she just hanging in there. So that's it. Hashtag free. Well,
I sent you a number.
Farmer. Now, for all you all that haven't ever been here for one of these drawings, if you want a high-tech, well-run operation and easily done with automatic draws and all that sort of thing, go to Gold Sniping Farmer's channel. Just go, because he does stuff up right, and we don't. We're little bitty guys. We're little bitty guys with little bitty prizes, and but it's free, and we love everybody for coming.
Striving to be as big as Gold Sniping Farmer.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
unlike 2 weeks ago, I cannot give you a hint to the number because last time I kept waving a diecast race car in front of the screen. Well, the guy that drives the car with the number that we picked, I can't stand, so I don't have any of his diecast, so I can't run a car in front of the screen this week.
All right, let's see here. I'm going to go in private chat for a moment. Okay. All right. There's the number at 605. I'll show you here in just a second, folks. All right. There's my photographic proof of the number. And then what do we do, Michi? You want to run down through the what we're doing?
Okay, so what we're going to do is when Cranky says go, 420, when Cranky says go, you will enter a number between 1 and 50, and whoever is the first to get that will win the silver.
Correct. Between 1 and 50, but you can't start until after Gold Sniping Farmer. Do another one because that's too high. That's more than 50.
No.
Oh, imagine that. Too high. Oh God, how about that? I made a joke.
Farmer's probably sitting there right now going, God, I wonder what these guys would be saying if they hated me.
Nah, he knows I love him.
Oh yeah, we all love him.
He's a good guy. All right, so
still too high.
Are we ready to go? And 1, 2, 3, go. Numbers in. 51.
As I said, still too high.
All right, now I've got everybody completely confused.
What? Farmer got it.
Get the heck out of here. Get the heck out of here.
Farmer got it.
That's just too funny. Seriously?
Yes.
Okay.
Farmer got it.
He did. Yeah, I see that. I'm just like right after. He must have seen. Is he an admin on your StreamYard or YouTube?
I thought he was. I got to fix that because I thought he was. But
fix that.
But you know what? I think I've also made mention of how much I despise Denny Hamlin, who drives the 11 car.
So here's the photographic proof, folks, that we are not. We're not kidding you. This This was the number that Michi sent me at 6:05. Number 11. Looks kind of like more like 71 in that, but it's 11.
There we go.
And y'all can look at the chat. It's pretty much documented. Farmer got it straight out of the gate. So Farmer, I have your address now. SGT, I do see you here. So SGT, FG said, you know, you want it, and then FG want it, or whatever, and FG said if you didn't want this 1/10 Brit, to put it up for another giveaway. But I didn't contact you, couldn't find the time to get a hold of you over this 1/10 here. However, this is not yours. If you still want, I mean, it can be if you want another 1/10, you can have a 1/10 as well. So we did this for the night here. So you just let me know if you're if you want me to mail you a 1/10 as well, because I did have more than one left. Gold Sniping Farmer, I have. Yeah, I do. Farmer, I got both your address. Well, maybe your address and your former, but yeah, I've got your address. No
Yeah,
biggie.
the one after he found out that Michi was almost a neighbor and he moved away to get away from Michi.
Yeah, there you go. Well, no, we're doing the 1/10 and a gram tonight. So the 1/10 is still either pending to USGT. This is Farmer's. And congratulations, Farmer, by golly. If your birthday is tomorrow, mine's the 23rd, Farmer. So but I'm a lot older than you, so
he ran for the hills. Yeah,
ran for the hills. There you go. There you go. So SGT, let me know if you want me to hold that until maybe you buy something later on down the road, or if you want me to mail it out. I'll just mail it out. Anybody's guess envelope kind of thing, and we'll just take it from there. So good enough. All right. Well, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, and happy birthday, Farmer, and happy dinner time, Marty. And
there you go.
Yeah, she's gonna be happy about that. So, well, sir, I guess maybe we should call this a wrap, and I'll get back to real life things.
Cranky and I were talking about it before we went live. We do this every 2 weeks because my work schedule, I'm off every other Monday. However, in 2 weeks I will be in training, and it just trying, stress factor and not trying to screw up anybody else's live streams. By doing it later, we will not be here in 2 weeks. However, 2 weeks after that, we will.
Yeah.
So we're going to be taking a Monday off. Appreciate all of you. Love y'all. Like we mentioned earlier, as Silver and Gold Stack Attack always says, we've got the best damn community on YouTube, and that's no lie. Everybody just, keep doing what you're doing. Love thy neighbor as thyself, and keep stacking.
Yep. That's it. In a nutshell, just stay safe out there. So stay safe, shoot straight, keep stacking, stack the right stuff.
All right, everybody. We'll see you soon.